Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for being here. We're going to break down Miami's offense against Ole Miss's defense in the semifinal game in the Fiesta Bowl. Really, some key plays and some of my favorite stuff that they did. Really good game, I thought, by offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson and game planning this and setting it up. I know in real time watching the game, they were a little iffy and spotty in play calling at times, but I thought the plan was really good. And when they needed to execute it to win the game, they did. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like our show. Also, follow us wherever you get your podcast on Spotify or Apple. Follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Joey Brown and CFB. We'll go ahead and jump into the film. All right, so Miami is in this condensed sniffer look with a tight end left. Tony's in the sniffer spot, and they're going to work an outside zone RPO. They're working outside zone to the left, and they're working a perimeter screen up top. So they're going to get two blockers for the perimeter for the nickel and the corner. They're going to get a flat by Tony. They're going to read the inside linebacker. If the inside linebacker does not play the screen, Beck can throw it or pull the ball and throw the screen. If the backer does not pursue the outside zone run when he sees it, then Beck can hand it off. And that's what he's going to do here. 6 kind of steps to the screen side, and so Beck's going to hand it off. And this is how RPO protects your run game. It gets that inside linebacker thinking about the pass and playing the pass when you can hand the ball off and make him a non-factor in the play. And that's exactly what happens here. Great design by Shannon Dawson. And you get your outside zone play run for a big play there by Brown, number 6. This is an example of Miami creating free access to throw a quick game speed out to the field here with the same condensed look against Ole Miss. So they ran this formation a lot. And all they're going to do, they know that the corner is going to play soft and outside leverage. So the nickel is not going to have flat responsibility here because he's going to get an immediate threat right at him and Tony. So you're going to get Marion running the speed out. Beck throws it on time. And this factors in later when they're layering their play action or their drop back pass game and they know they're going to get a soft corner with outside leverage. They're going to throw a dig on the last drive of the game for a big first down on the game-winning touchdown drive. But right here, they're setting up their quick game because they know they're going to get that outside leverage and they can get the free access out here with this grass to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly. And so that's exactly what they do. Beck sees it. He recognizes it. Brown spray releases it. He runs an outside he runs a stemmed route outside against an outside leverage defender to create space to the outside. And this is a good example of taking advantage of free access by formation in the defense. All right, perhaps the biggest play of the game here, 53-yard touchdown pass from Beck to Marion. So you're going to get an empty vertical switch concept. So in the way that Ole Miss is playing this quarters coverage here, you've got these 4 defenders to play the deep part of the field, each of them playing a deep quarter. Well, Malachi Tony's key here because this field safety is going to respect him so much, he's not going to get involved in anything going on in the boundary. And that's very important because you're going to get a boundary crosser by the point guy that the boundary safety is going to jump. You're going to get a fade route outside the numbers that the corner is going to carry. And your nickel is setting here, all right, pressing the point, and he is playing zone. And you're going to get a delayed middle of the field vertical right there by number 1, and they've cleared everything out, and there's nobody there. They've basically manipulated this quarter's coverage, and they flooded everything vertical, and there's nobody to cap that vertical by Marion, and that's going to be why you pop this for a big 53-yard touchdown. And you can kind of see how it develops right here. Takes it a minute to get going. Beck does a good job of rolling and buying time. And there's the big play that gives Miami a 17-10 lead here in the second quarter. You see it here from the end zone copy. Beck buying that time back there. And he just, he knows all he needs is enough time to let him clear, and he can just throw it up to him. So we're working this same RPO here where you're getting 2 blockers for the flat route by number 3. You running zone back to the boundary here. Watch number 6, the inside backer. Watch how he's a non-factor in this play because he's drifting and kind of slow playing to the screen side. And Miami's getting advantages in the run game by taking that linebacker out with this RPO play to the field right here. So you see the zone, the hand to Fletcher. Now, this is only going to gain a couple yards, but later on in the game, you're going to see Miami's going to pop a couple of these big runs because the linebackers aren't flowing and fitting. They're worried about playing the RPO instead of flowing and fitting the zone run game. All right, so this is the first of about 3 times Miami's going to run the same guard pull influence screen where they're getting linemen out to the perimeter to block the screen. So the way this is going to work is you've got a simulated pressure here. Look on 3rd and 7 by Ole Miss. It's man coverage in the back end. You got all these guys walked up to the line of scrimmage. Who's going to rush? Who's going to drop? Really doesn't matter for Ole Miss here. They just have to get this play executed in a way where the left guard's going to pull like he's blocking a gap game concept. The back's going to step across and run behind him like he's running it. And then you're going to get the number 3 receiver up to block the number 2 defender. The number 2 receiver, Tony's going to jab step and open to the quarterback. And then you've got your left tackle, your center, your right guard, and your right tackle all releasing to the perimeter to the left. They're going to just make a wave that Tony's going to catch it, and he's going to get behind and get upfield right now. And it's a great call into man coverage because you got hats for everybody, and you know that you're going to have them outnumbered on the perimeter because they're sending pressure, and that's exactly what you want on a screen as long as the quarterback has time to get it off. And Miami does have time right here. See, Beck gets it out very quickly. Miami gets the lineman out, and you see Tony catches this thing and gets upfield, and he has a burst, man, when he has the ball in his hand. Miami's receivers block as good as anybody in the country. So right here, you've got an inside zone play to the right. So you've got basically the tight end attached here is going to block the C-gap defender. Tony's going to come right off of his butt, and he's going to go block the D-gap defender, which becomes this nickel. And Marion, he's got a condensed split. He's going to go push crack the safety here. And Fletcher is actually going to hit the cutback on zone, and he's going to run this thing right behind Tony and Marion's block. And it's just a thing of beauty how physical these guys are and how unselfish they are in blocking in the run game. I mean, bam, you see it right there. And they're not catching either. They're punching. They're running, and they are punching those guys right in the chest. You watch both of their heads snap back. Watch 29's head snap back. And watch the safety's head snap back when they get blocked. Boom. Just great fundamentals, wide receiver blocking right there. Earlier in the game, we saw a couple of these RPO runs out of this condensed formation with the sniffer that went for a few yards. And I told you that we would see later in the game big explosive runs out of this stuff. So what's going to happen here is you're going to have Miami's running outside zone to the field with Mark Fletcher, and they're running that same perimeter screen up top where they're blocking, all right, the 2 most dangerous defenders to the outside and the tight ends flatten. Watch the linebackers. Watch their reaction because they've seen this so many times already, how slow they are to fit the run and fit outside zone. This linebacker here is responsible really for fitting and making this end right, okay? So your end right here is trying to maintain gap integrity. He's trying to play. He's trying to really play C-gap here, and the linebacker does not make him right, okay? And this thing ends up bouncing outside, and it turns into explosive play, all because they've set that up the entire game with their RPO game to protect the run. Miami's been showing this formation a lot, and they've already run their guard pull slow perimeter screen a couple of times. Now they're going to mesh them together. So great play design here by Shannon Dawson. He puts his receiver strength into the boundary. Ole Miss puts their nickel into the boundary. So they've got 1, 2, 3 defenders at the boundary in the secondary and 1, 2 to the field. They're going to motion Malachi Tony across to the field, and they're going to gain an extra hat to throw the perimeter screen here. And so you're going to get that same action we've seen earlier out of trips with the G-pull perimeter screen, and now we're going to get it out of this sniffer condensed look with Malachi Tony motioning across, and you see how formation in this and getting Ole Miss in a bad position where their nickel is away from the screen and their corner and the safety to the screen side are both soft and off because they've shown this look so much that Ole Miss has played this sort of two high quarters look shell to this the whole game, and they know that's what they're going to be in. They know that's what they're going to get, and you see it right there. They manipulate it and they take advantage of that free access, and Tony takes it to the house. So Miami's taking advantage of the free access, throwing speed outs and throwing the screen to Malachi Tony for the touchdown. Now they're going to take advantage of it to throw a drop back pass, to throw a dig. So this is the game-winning touchdown drive. So Miami's gotten in the same formation, and you've got the same two high quarters look shell by Ole Miss, where it's soft and off, and it's outside leverage by the corner to the field. So Miami wants to work a dig concept. So what you're going to get here, you're going to get the number one receiver. He's going to spray release, meaning if you have an outside leverage defender and you're working an in-breaking route, you're going to run right at him to hold him outside. And then when you break your route, he's going to dig it back inside away from him. So instead of just working straight up the field and letting him come stick to his outside hip and cover the dig, he's going to widen him to make more grass to run the dig back to. And it's just a really good executed play, a good route, but it's also really good play designed by Shannon Dawson, Miami's offensive coordinator. And you see right there, they know exactly what they're going to get. The corner can't make the play because he's out leveraged. And the safety's playing deep middle of the field, and he doesn't have a chance to play to make a play on the dig as well. Beck throws it on time, on rhythm, and it's a big first down on this game-winning touchdown drive.